So this next project is going to require a little explanation. So I make, other than woodworking projects, I make little electronic projects sometimes. But I've never had a really good workspace for that. It doesn't take a very big area, but it's nice to have something you can spread out on and leave out. So I usually do that on crappy folding tables and just not good areas. So for a while I've kind of had this project like cooking in the back of my mind. And what I've kind of arrived at is I wanted a piece of furniture where I could leave this workspace kind of set up and also have some storage with it, but also set it up in a way that I could kind of close it up and conceal it so my messy workspace won't be visible all the time. So what I came to is some kind of a wardrobe or armoire cabinet would be perfect for that. So I looked around for a while and eventually I found this used storage cabinet. It's made out of particle board, which I hate, but I was trying to do this project for as close to free as I could, and I found this thing for $30, which is less than I could make it out of crappy plywood. So I jumped on it. Now the reason it was $30 was because the inside of it is gutted. There's no shelves or anything. It's kind of messed up in there. But that's perfect for me. I was going to gut it and rebuild everything anyway. So 30 bucks for a shell, perfect. I need to do a little work to it. Like, this doesn't open up quite right. It kind of rubs on things, but I can fix that. It has this center divider, which will get right in the way of if I put like some kind of work surface here. So I'm probably going to remove that. This thing is just like some thin cardboard on the back here. I'll probably replace that with some thin plywood. Maybe that'll shore it up structurally. So, and then of course I'll add some storage shelves and stuff like that. The cool part too is this is actually asymmetrical, and it's got this kind of weird, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but it's kind of a weird like shelf in the door on this side. This side's just a normal flat panel. But this is perfect to put, I have a bunch of little parts cabinets that are, about this big, that just have all sorts of little electronic parts in them. So I can basically fit all of those right here in this little door, which is great. So I think this thing's gonna be perfect for making my little electronics workspace. We'll see. Hey, so I finished my soldering workbench. I'm just gonna show the end result because this project, I didn't really have a plan. I just kind of modified things and did things as they came to me. So I was kind of just riffing on this whole project. So instead of showing the process, which was weird and chaotic, but kind of fun, I'm just going to show you the end result. So this is what I came up with. I'm pretty happy with the results. The outside still looks the same as the first video I showed. Structurally, I took out, there was a middle kind of support piece that divided the entire inside of it, so I took that out completely. After I did that, it kind of destabilized the whole thing. It would kind of like rock back and forth and everything, which I knew that would happen. So the first thing I did was I took out, it basically had a cardboard back. So I took that off and used it as a template to cut a 1/4 inch plywood back, which is what I have here. So that's attached, and that gave me a lot more stability in the structure after that. Then I added a shelf, which is movable, but it'll probably stay here. And then a work surface here, which is just 3/4 inch plywood. The insides of it are not pretty, but they're not supposed to be. It's supposed to be functional. I might eventually paint the shelves and kind of some of the exposed wood just to, I don't know, make it look a little nicer, but that doesn't matter. Other than that, it was a few other cosmetic things as far as the structure is concerned. So this trim piece was falling off, so I glued that back on, and now it's nice and stable. Have I mentioned that particle board sucks? So it seems like the sides of this have actually sagged, the particle board has. And so the doors are not perfect, like they don't line up like they should. I'll probably still come back in and tweak the hinges a little bit to kind of level the doors out a little bit. But they're functional, so that's okay. And they look pretty decent. Okay, so let's go in for some details. So first off, probably the nicest part of this is one of the doors basically has room to hold all of my small parts storage, or nearly all of it. Then the work surface here, I added a power strip and a magnetic tool rack for all my small, most commonly used tools. And then over to the side, there's hooks for cables, commonly used cables. The shelf that's above the work surface here has multimeter, power supply, soldering iron, desoldering, hot air rework station, etc. And there's some bigger tools that I have hung up here too. And then of course the work surface itself, along with a space for some of the smaller tools like tweezers and solder and things of that nature. And then up above is kind of more part storage, like larger part storage on the shelf there. And that's pretty much it. So it's not perfect yet, but it is very usable. I'll probably still add like another shelf kind of above where the soldering iron and stuff is, to hold some smaller things. And I might add some more lighting. I added this kind of LED under cabinet light here, which is great. But I may also add more of the same up above here to improve lighting. Right now I've just got this little task light here for extra lighting, but we'll see what I do with that. But it has space for almost everything I need. And shockingly enough, I've been making electronic gadgets for 20 years, I think. And I've never had a dedicated workspace. I've always just temporarily set up my soldering iron on my desk or on a card table or something like that. And that's just a huge barrier to working on electronics projects. So this will be really nice to just have a dedicated space that I can use and then close the doors on and just close up when I'm done. Thanks for watching.